Hello, Americans and other friends and subscribers around the world. We're back again. It's a little morning coffee and time for another episode of Mountain Junkers. So, ooh, I almost knocked that off there. So we're going to do a little something different with the Mountain Junkers this morning. Sales this weekend have been, all right, man. We've really been for the last, I guess it's been over 2 weeks that we've really been plugging away at the knives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got all our, I think our orders are just about, our pre-orders are pretty much caught up. Which is, man, that's good. I mean, I'm trying to get ahead, which is a good thing, but pretty much selling, the knives as fast as we can. But I got some notes and stuff we're actually going to go over, because we had some questions about making stuff and selling stuff you make on eBay and Etsy. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to kind of go over our experience with that, and then
I've got some shipping. I'm going to focus on priority, different things you can ship with priority. Do you want to give a shout out for the ones that we're talking about making stuff, or you don't want to talk about that? None right now? No, I just...
Did I put you on the spot?
Yeah, you plan stuff. But I
don't plan. I plan stuff. That's not in my hippie soul. Because I'm a hippie homestead. But
homestead hippie.
Oh yeah, homestead hippie. You got to watch that video, by the way.
Yeah, it's
great.
Deep
South homestead. I think I might even do a little video on that, man. And it is, man. It's my favorite video, man. I've watched it a couple times. It is, man. It is just. I love them.
Yeah.
I love them people. But, man, just the points he makes is just amazing. It's just amazing. You gotta watch it. But, anyway, so let's go over, making and creating stuff on, to sell on eBay. Obviously, we do these knives. Man, and if you have some crazy idea or, you've thought or, you make stuff for your friends and your family or whatever, man, the thing is just do it. If you thought about, I should try to sell these, I wonder if they'd sell, blah, blah, blah.
You won't know if you don't
try. You won't know till you try, because I'll tell you what, the, how we got started with the knives, and I've told, like I said, a lot of these videos, if you watch them all, you'll hear me repeat myself, but I get, the new subscribers and stuff that don't really watch the old videos, but how we got into making knives, which is actually, man, we'll talk about the transition where they're kind of going from here too. But when we bought this property, 5 years ago or whatever, I had actually bought my forge for Pounded Out. Me and Kevin D had talked about getting one forever. We were at a yard sale and found this one, man. We paid $100, man, for my blower and my table. And we went in halves, me and Kevin D. And we were still down in the flatlands then, and started set it up and started playing with it with using coal.
With just a curiosity. Let's
just nothing. Just nothing on.
No intentions of turning it into a.
Yeah, nothing. Well, actually, we did talk. We knew we were going to pound out knives. A father and son thing, pound out some knives, and we actually sold the very first things that we've sold, other than the stuff that we keep for ourselves or I give away or make, to use as tools, we have sold every item that we've ever pounded on. Other than ones that you mess up that you throw in the scrap bin. But, so we started doing that down there, and, man, I ended up picking up this, man, if you're thinking about getting into blacksmithing, man, this Country Blacksmith. Man, I've self-taught myself. And every question, it's not a huge book, every question from, what you use to quench, because, man, I use oil and water to quench, from tempering, hardening, even right here. Everything you need to know. Make your own forge, rework scrap iron and steel, create anything from decorative nails, hinges, to broad axes and farming tools. That's what I always call myself, is just an old mountain blacksmith or country blacksmith. So, man, this book, and I think it sells for, I don't know, 10 or 12 bucks. I don't know, man, I won't. I bought this one brand new, man. You can see, I've taught everything, you know, and then of course once you get into it and you meet some other people that are blacksmithing, you know, you talk to them and you learn a few things there. So anyway, I ain't got no place to put this.
Put it right underneath here.
So anyway, so we started doing that down there. You know, we were in the search of our property and stuff, and we weren't like making stuff, right? You know, because we, you know, buy and sell our junk. But man, me and Kevin pounded out. I think he actually the first railroad spike. I think I pounded it out and he twisted it. You know, we did it together. Man, we put it on, sold it for I don't know, $15 or $20 or something. Man, it was rough, man, ugly. Yeah, man, you know, and then we did some horseshoe knives and. You know, everything, you know, and the whole time, man, we're just like, yeah, man, this goes right along with it, you know, because, man, we love, you know, because everything that we do in life is circled around recycle, reuse, repurpose. Yeah, so we're like, oh, cool, man. So we searched, found our property, you know, all that story, bought the property, you know, built the little shack and stuff like that. Well, in the process of moving up here, man, we went broke. And I mean, I had to borrow the last $100 for fuel to get our last load up here, and then lost
more
a lot of stuff, man. I just couldn't get it up here, so I had people come in and, you know, take what they wanted and stuff like that because we were done, man. We'd done tapped out.
Out of money.
Yep, out of time, out of money, trying to run our, at the time we had, you know, Etsy, eBay, and our .com online business. Plus we had Kevin D having to do homeschooling, so we were figuring out the internet. That's when we were paying for the gigs, you know, and all that story. But we get up here, man, and you know, we were selling a few things here and there, but I mean, we were tapped, and I'm talking down to counting pennies and stuff, man. I mean, tapped. You know, I don't know if you've ever been that broke, man, but we have many times, man, where you dump in the penny jug to count pennies to buy milk. So, man, you know, of course, Miss Kitty, you know, I do everything I can to, you know, try to keep her stress level down, which at the time, I mean, you know, we were paid up on our payment. You know, we had a good month before we really had anything coming in, you know, to pay. So, you know, of course, you know, we're listing stuff. She's going through stuff, you know, and all that, and really ain't got, you know, so we're selling the stuff just that we have because we didn't have no money to go out and buy any junk. So I told her, I said, man, I'm gonna start pounding out knives and sell these, man. So I built a little lean-to over the forge, man. I'm, you know, by this point, it's November, I think. November going into the Christmas season, and I start pounding because I had a whole box of railroad spikes. So I started pounding out the railroad spike knives, man, and man, as fast as I could pound them, and I was putting them on. I think I was selling them at the time, and they were pretty rough for $20. You know, plus shipping, man. So I was getting, you know, so man, I'm pounding, man, and I mean that Christmas we pounded them, and we made it through. You know, and I mean, I'd pound anything that I could find, man. I was like, I'm gonna make a knife out of that. You know, I'm gonna make a knife out of that, man. I'd walk around the property and find chunks of steel, you know, and old wrenches, and I just made knives out of everything. So we did that, man. Got through Christmas time and all that, and that's actually when the producers. It turned out, you know, a godsend or whatever. The producers were interested in us again and ended up giving us. Paying us, to sign a contract, so we ended up getting that in, I think I was right going into December, mid-December, so we're like, woohoo, man, you know, so that helped us out, too, at the time. And then, in this whole process, and I don't know how long before, but when we're unpacking, I pulled out an old, you know, an old knife that I had, you know, customized, you know, out of another old knife. I'd customized it, and I'd put new handles, and I mean, it was ugly, man. It was rough. And I was playing around with whittling, and Miss Kitty and stuff, we're talking and stuff. She's like, you know, you probably could sell those knives. You could sell that knife. Really? And so, man, I put it on for, I think, $15 or something. $10. I think it was $10. And I mean, this thing, it was ugly, man. It was, you know, I'd kind of whittled on it and sanded on it and stuff, and so put it on, man, it sold. I'm like, well,
fast.
Crap. Yeah, fast. So I'm like, well, what the heck? So I started making, you know, these wood carving knives. And every one I'd make, and I mean, they were ugly. And man, so I started making them and selling them, and pretty soon, I don't know, man, I'd been making them and selling them for how long till you said, man, I'm going to...
at least a couple of years.
Yeah, I probably made them and sold them, and I mean rough ones. You know, I mean, I'd do them, you know, and not down to the... Because I'll tell you, Miss Kitty's the one that fine sands these to make these... I mean, I'm not into calling, we make tools, not art, but man, when I look at these knives now, I mean, they are beautiful, man. They, definitely, pretty much a work of art, but, we make tools. But anyway, so a couple years into it, man, I'm selling them regular and all that, and finally, I was doing so many, I told her, if I keep doing these, I just need, help to, start sanding these and stuff. Is that how it kind of took place?
Yeah, well, and you said, well, if I'm going to make knives, then you need to use them. So you made one for me.
That's right.
And
she hated
I
it.
have, soft hands, and
she's a delicate flower.
He has calloused hands, and so I would touch it, and I go, well, this is rough, and it's not comfortable in my hand, and I'm just going to have to do something about that.
That's right, because you were making cooking videos, and I told you we need to have my at the time it was just my knives. I was making that. There goes the battery again. And I'll tell you what, never fails every time. But the thing with that battery is there is no warning, man. It'll show you full charge, and then it starts blinking. So we were on. So she was doing the cooking videos, which she needs to get back into. Oh yeah, kitchen. But and I told her, you need to use my knives, and so she started trying to use. I made her a big butcher knife, and she hated it, man. She said it's rough and all that. And is that when you sanded it?
Yes.
Or was it a paring knife you sanded first, or was it the butcher knife?
It was the butcher knife.
Yeah, so then, that's right, because
the chef knife.
Then I sold it. But so she sands it up and does it hers, man. And I'm like, wow, man, that is purty. And I was like, I think we could sell that, man. I think we probably get, $35 or something for that thing. She's all, really? All right, we'll put that out there. And so we put it out there, man, sold like that. So, man, of course, we're like, So, man, I did so we started doing some, some larger kitchen knives and stuff like that. And then she actually has the original. That's the original paring knife you use.
Yeah,
the original.
Got a carbon
the first
blade.
paring knife I made. Yeah, so I made a paring knife with a carbon blade to sell, and she sanded that one up, and then when she's done with that one, she's all, but this one is mine. Yeah. And she's been using that now for years. Yeah. So that's kind of how it came into play, where Miss Kitty jumped in and started doing it to where they're at now, which we're. The funny thing is, man, I'm not even following my notes. I hope I got it all. But this spring and summer, we're actually going to go out and, do in our little travels and stuff, treasure hunting and stuff like that. We're actually going to go out and try to promote our knives. And I'll always do my wood carving knives, but Miss Kitty, and it's all because of her, but she took one of the raven beaks.
And that was actually Verna.
That was actually, that's right.
She says,
that's right.
That wood carving knife that you just showed looks so much like my great-grandma's kitchen knife. That's right. I want to buy that and use it in my kitchen.
That's right.
And I was like, wow, I never thought about using this style of a blade in the kitchen. And so I grabbed it and went over and grabbed a potato, and wow.
And so Verna, thank you very much, because I don't even think that was a year ago. Maybe about a year ago. Yeah, maybe. That's right. And she said that it's just like my grandma's knife. And then Vicky actually sent me a knife, and I kind of cleaned up the
restored
handle.
it.
Yeah, it was
a family knife also, and we didn't want to.
But anyway,
change any of it.
So Verna was the one that brought it to our attention, and Kitty's all, really? Because she was using the paring knife one. Well, now she has a raven beak over there because she started using it. She's all, wow, man, this is an amazing one. And then she's also got one of this one's a bear claw, but I got these eagle claws like this. And so we started putting, which I was having a heck of a time because of the categories on eBay, because you got the wood carving, category, kitchen knives, and then custom knives. So actually I still ran into issues I just did last night on this knife, but of where to put it, under what category. So anyway, because of Verna and bringing that to our attention and stuff, we started putting more out there. We had to put some of them on as kitchen and paring knives, and some, as the wood carving knives. And man, it's taken off amazing. Which Miss Kitty's logic or our logic was, man, I love my wood carvers, we're wood carvers, and all that. But man, there's a lot more people that cook than carve on wood. Yeah. So, you know, as far Absolutely. As, so I mean, this is kind of how it all transitions out. So, let me look at this thing. Sorry, I got to read these notes, make sure, because I get talking, I don't even pay attention. Why do I even write notes? After doing the going da-da-da. I guess I went over all that without even... Wow, man, I am good. Who needs notes, man? And then we're getting ready to become paring knives. Mm-hmm. So what I was saying is going back, so we're going to start going around promoting them more. I'm still calling them hillbilly whittlers, but going into the paring knife and stuff like that. So we're going to go promote and do a little travel and see if we can get them out there and everything. I don't know where the heck I was going from there. Oh, as far as you. Who cares about me? As far as you. So, I mean, any ideas that, you know, just like that, man. I wished I had one of the original ones, man. You would... I can't even. A lot different. Yeah, when I think back at what they look like and stuff like that, I'm really surprised that somebody just wasn't, what the heck, you know. But man, they were happy, man, and people are, man, this is the greatest, you know. I didn't have the woodworking part of it down, but man, I had the blades, because that's the trick. And a lot of them, the carbon blades, I do good too, but I make a lot of them out of stainless steel, and a lot of research and talking to an old timer. Because stainless steel and getting a good edge on stainless steel is a trick, man. And once you get the trick down and you can put a good edge on stainless steel, man, that's, I mean, it holds the edge amazing. So, where else we go from there on the...
So, you got an idea to make money on the homestead. I guess the moral of that is do it. I mean,
yeah, just do it. You know, I mean...
You'll never know unless you just do it.
Yeah, I mean, we do... I mean, we can touch base. I mean, we do our knives, obviously. But that's one of the things I did write down. This is the stuff that we make or create, you know, ourself and have sold. Either we still sell or have sold. We've done everything from wood sculptures, you know, making tables, centerpieces, man, you know, whether it be little carved morels or... whatever, but we've sold table sculptures, metal sculptures, you know, making whatever. I'm actually going to do those wind chimes that I want to do out of old trap parts. I'm going to do some of those hopefully this year. We've done a ton of wall art sculptures, and that Miss Kitty takes and we both do. We take our drift, you know, our mountain driftwood, and we'll do a little carving. So we'll add that and deer antler art, man. We've made some awesome centerpieces and some wall hangers with antlers. Yeah, remember the ones? Yeah. And the thing is we do them, and then, man, they sell in good money, and you almost, forget. I don't know. Yeah, you should. You get so many projects, I think, going. Other things is lots of coat hooks and stands, whether it be from dogwood to driftwood, you know, coat racks to wall mounting hooks. We've sold just tons of those, a lot of natural ones and stuff like that we've sold. This is just to give you some ideas. I mean, you know, and the market for it out there is huge. Of course, my twig furniture, you know, everybody knows I do the twig furniture. My flutes, I haven't, here's one that I'm still working on. And I haven't, how long ago did I start this?
I don't know. It's got some dust on it.
Yeah, it's got dust and everything, you know, and it's just getting back to, and I actually, the one guy, he hasn't even said anything. He probably just gave up on me, man. But I had one guy that, it was sold. I mean, as soon as I'd finished it. I mean, if I get this done, you know, I'd have to go back. But, man, he's been wanting one for, it's probably going on 2 years. I can't remember who it was. Yeah. So one of these days, I'll get back at that. The flutes, I used to do a lot of leather work. I've actually done a little bit on here, but I used to make sheaths and stuff. And the thing that we found with the...
And medicine bundles.
Oh, yeah, tons of, the medicine bundles. And that I actually was shown how to, or given a pattern, you know, from Old Pineapple, of how they were really done, you know. And there's a thing where you can fold out your bag, you know, your medicine bundle. These little bags with the little flip top thing is not truly a... bundle. Yeah, Native American medicine bundle, but it's more of a, made like a possibles bag. But I used to do the all the Mountain Man possibles bags and ball bag. I mean, just all that stuff. But the leather, what we found with our sheaths And I still, every once in a while, will slap one together, you know, and I'm not no big leather guy. Mine are, you know, pretty mountain-like. But we just found with it didn't really increase the value or whatever on the knives all that much.
People weren't particularly willing to pay for the sheath.
Right. They'll pay for the knife, but they weren't really, you know, because, I mean, it's not some huge fancy,
right.
You know. There's a guy in up the road, man, and that dude makes some nice. Someday I might kind of intermingle with him and, you know, see what he'd make, because he makes some nice tooled stuff. What else? Our carved rails. Oh, yeah, and then the walking sticks. Remember, we made walking sticks for quite a while and sold a lot of them. Especially out at the swap meet, we were carving morels and stuff on them. Oh, and then that's how I put that down. The one time when we were in the motorhome days, and I've talked about getting stuck in when we didn't have the money it was another one of those times, man, we've been there a lot. And didn't have the fuel to get out of Donley, Idaho. It was the time I found the $50 bills on the bottom of the lake. That's a different story. We can go in there. But how we were making money every weekend to be able to still eat and stuff and, you know, still survive doing this flea market is we'd go just comb, during the week, we'd go comb the beaches and the woods, and we'd pick up anything that looked like, man, it might be some, you know, that you could make a Native American, anything, you know, from a primitive tool, from a tomahawk, and, you know, we'd pick up feathers and all this, and that's how we survived that way for about a month, just making these primitive-like tools, you know, wrapping sinew and doing all this. So that was pretty cool. It was kind of a cool.
Fun experience.
Fun experience, man. But when we found those two $50 bills on the bottom of the lake, we were out of there.
Yeah.
That was back in the mountain home days. So I think that's. Well, I guess I could show these knives. These four right here, I just put on last night, so they still are available for sale. So you can check out the Idaho Hillbilly on eBay. Eventually, there'll be some on Etsy again. Which you making sure that they ain't sold?
Yeah, it's just kind of eyeballing.
I don't know if I need
I was
to
gonna
really
verify that, but I kind of forgot.
Really need to. I think I'll snap a picture of it and I'll put that in right here. So the four on this side, you can get on and look. These are the three that I made for Cat that we traded for.
Tin mouth.
Yeah, tin mouth. Yes, maple syrup, man. And these are the three that she. Actually, I think I gave her the choice out of them all, so she picked what she wants, because she likes, for what they use them for, doing their, you know, on their place and stuff, really firm and everything. Big old hacker, raven beak hacker. And then this one was actually an old beat up carbon blade. It was a paring knife, and all I did was pop the handles off, you know, and reshaped it a little bit and retempered it and stuff like that, but and put new handle on it and redid the handle. So that one's actually, I did not make that blade, just kind of customized it. Then I put the hole here, and I forgot to do it before I showed her, but probably do it before we send it to her. I usually put a little leather strap here. And actually, when I made this one, I was thinking about swapping this one that I carry out for this one, but Miss Kitty said that the one I carry should have one of my blades, just for promotion reasons, I guess. And then this one I made the last few days, but I put it on last night. It already sold, and it's actually a mushrooming foraging knife or paring knife, and that one turned out pretty nice, a little 3-pin. And then I sold the little humpback. So that's the one. So man, if you're interested in any of those, like I said, those four. Of course, got some more roughed in out there that putting them on all the time. And if you get on there and you're wanting to see them or look at them, you're wanting to buy one or whatever, and just keep watching because they sell, which is meant as a good thing. Thank you. Yeah. But they sell almost as fast as we can put them on.
I got one thing to add to the using them as kitchen knives. These are not dishwasher safe.
Yeah, no, it'll dry out your handles.
If you, that's exactly. It'll dry out your handles. We use a mineral beeswax, mineral oil and beeswax to condition the wood, and putting it in the dishwasher with the heat and the chemicals of your soap will strip off that beeswax. So if you have stuck one of them, or any knife, with a wood handle. In the dishwasher, take a fine grit sandpaper, sand it down, and put oil on it. And don't put it in the dishwasher.
Beeswax is what we prefer.
But beeswax is good.
And the other thing, that if you keep running a wood handle, it doesn't matter if it's one of ours or any wood knife, if you keep running it through, it will separate, you know, from your blade. And once it does that, man, good luck. It needs new handles, you know, so. Yeah. Yeah, once it does that, and actually, even our own daughter, when she knew she screwed up as soon as she did it, I don't know if she did it or what, but it ended up in the dishwasher, and so she brought it back, and she was not very happy. No. But we ended up, that one, it didn't separate or anything like that, so Mom sanded it down for her and re-beeswaxed it, so it's all reconditioned. Okay. All right, so I think we'll let Miss Kitty do a little, I was going to take a picture of that, though. Okay. I guess I can do it.
Okay, it's okay.
Nope, you just start your...
Do my thing, okay. Yeah. So, we are going to talk about priority boxes and shipping. There's two different types of priority boxes. And the first one is flat rate. And the second one is just standard priority. You can ship any package, just standard priority. You know, in brown box, whatever. But they have standard priority boxes as well. So I'm going to do flat rate first. And flat rate means that each box has a certain restriction on weight, and they'll say it on the box. But if it fits, it ships. That's their slogan. So the first one here is a small flat rate box. I'm just going to kind of put it together here so that you can see the size of it. That one is right around $7 to ship. Flat rate, $7. This one here is, that's what I wanted to say. Any of these flat rates, you cannot change the shape of this. You can't stick something in here that's going to make it bulge to an excess. You can't trim off an edge and make it smaller. You can't fold the flaps to make it larger. You cannot change the shape of a flat rate, with the exception of this one. This one here is a padded flat rate envelope, and this one here obviously is flat, but you can fit anything that you can fit in here and close this flap, you can ship in this. So this one you can change the shape of, you just can't add another envelope and make it larger, that type of thing. But this one here you can change the shape of. This one here is a flat rate envelope made of thin cardboard. This is technically designed and used for documents. So to put rigid items in this isn't by the Postal Service's regulations, not acceptable. The next one is regional, and the regional is what we use the most of. There's, okay, I was going to say that too. Most of this stuff, the standard flat rate you can pick up at your post office. You can walk in and they'll have a little stack. They've got large, medium, and small flat rate boxes, and that's what this is. And this, they do not stock at your post office. You have to get onto USPS.com. Create yourself a free account and order these for free. You get these for free. This one here is one that you can pick up at the post office. So this one you have to order. The regionals is what I use the most of. I didn't bring out a large or a medium flat rate because I don't use a lot of those. But this regional I do. I use a lot of these regionals. And the way this works, it is flat rate, but it's based on zip codes within regions, different regions. You're in a region. Here in Idaho, I can't remember what our region number is, but so if I was to ship this within my region, it would be about $7. If I ship it, I'm in Idaho, to New York, it would be just over $10. So you can see where that would be beneficial to the customers to save them some shipping. And there's two different sizes of the regional A. This is a regional A. There's this shape. And then there is this shape. And this box here isn't actually a regional A. I didn't realize until I was pulling these boxes together, but that's the shape of this one. So you have to get online and order these. There's also a regional B that's slightly larger, and that's very comparable to the medium flat rate sizes. And then there's a regional C. And the only time that either one of those sizes would be beneficial to my customers is if I had a huge item and it was extremely heavy, and I don't really use that.
The bigger post offices in the bigger cities, they may.
No.
They don't at all?
No.
Oh, really?
No, you have to order these off the internet. They're free supplies, but your postmaster won't order them. Oh, and I just...
We actually supplied our post office with a few one time. Yeah.
Because they had a customer that came in and asked for one. They didn't have it. They knew I did, so it worked out really well. Okay, so the next group of boxes that I have sitting here are just standard post office or priority boxes. And these you have to order off the internet. No post office will supply these either. This one here looks like a small flat rate box, but it's just slightly larger than the small flat rate. And I actually use this one quite a bit. Where's that other one?
I thought I was helping you there.
Good.
Oh, that would fit right in there.
Yeah, yeah. So they're the same shape, just slightly different size. This one here, I use a lot of. And these ones are based on your dimensions and your weight. But I brought these out here to show you that there's other options than what you see at the post office. This one I use a lot of. It's just a cube size. Like that.
Our most used one of those little eBay ones that you got too.
Yeah. This one here is a tie back. Just an envelope. And like I said, any of these standard priority, you can change the shape of them. Say this one here, I had an item that would fit into it, but it was a little bit too tall. You can take another priority box and fit it right over the top of it and kind of fit it to size. Tie back envelope there. This is one that I use a lot of. It's called the shoe box. They call it a shoe box because it's basically the size of a shoe box. Size and shape of the shoe box.
You don't have the triangle one up there.
I don't have any tubes. I ran out of them.
And we use those a lot.
A lot of the
fishing
tubes.
Poles and our walking sticks and a lot of that.
Yeah, and this one here is just a large priority milling box. So I'm showing you these so you have an idea. There's a couple different sizes that I don't use a lot of, but you just get on there to USPS.com and like I said, create yourself a free account and go through and order yourself some supplies. I recommend that you just get small. How did one of my hairs get stuck to that?
Your hair gets stuck
to everything. Just get yourself a small supply until you know what your need is before you order a lot of them. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a storage problem. And the tubes that he was saying that I don't have, I didn't bring over here. They are triangular tubes that come in 2 different lengths. And back in the day, almost all of the priority boxes that you got from the post office were dual purpose. The side would be priority, you'd flip it over, and everything would be in blue instead of red, and that would be express. The tubes come like that still, so you want to make sure that you have the red side out, not the blue. Otherwise, it costs a fortune to mail it. And you don't realize that you've done it. You drop it off at the post office. It's not caught. It ends up to your customer. Your customer will then get a note from the post office saying, you owe us postage. So
they don't like that very much.
Yeah, it's really important that you purchase your postage label for the correct box and weight and everything. Otherwise, your customer has to pay the difference. And
good way to get a negative.
Not good. So I know that was kind of brief, and it may still leave you with questions. So let me know. I can answer questions. I just never really know how in depth to go on.
Well, and that's to us,
showing.
That's just showing the priority boxes to a lot of people that have been doing eBay for a long time. They're all that's basic information. Well, if you're just getting started, or if you've had, and what have we been doing? 15 years at eBay? 15, 16?
2003 is when we started, so 15.
So in all our years of doing eBay, man, we've seen a lot of people come and a lot of people go, you know, and people that we've helped and all that. And the number one reason people stop doing eBay is because of shipping. Because they start losing their hindquarters on the shipping. So, man, the shipping is... And, I mean, if all of a sudden, you know, Kitty just stopped doing the shipping... I know enough, you know, myself to cut it down because the shipping department's hers, man, because she's spot on. But she still, every once in a while, do something, you know, do something. Most times it's because of my measurements and weights, because, I mean, it's definitely key. But, yeah, that's definitely the biggest, you know, downfall or what discourages people from doing it. So don't let it discourage you, man. And any questions and answers or questions that you have, put them in the comments down below. We haven't been getting a ton of questions. We have been getting some. That's what I was saying. If you wanted to mention them, because they have their channel too, a shout out. But obviously you don't.
So they didn't give me permission to.
Yeah, right. Okay. So, but anyway, so man, you can send us a personal email too, Idaho Hillbilly Yahoo, and that's you know, we're trying to help, you know, whoever we can. We'll do anything we can to try to help you the best we can as far as any of it, man. The shipping, the listing, you know. But man, get out there, man. If you've got something that you're thinking, man, people might buy this or what, do it. Yeah. Man, just do it. That's the key. Yeah. You know, the key thing.
You know, you watch our videos and you see, you know, all different subjects that we cover, and that's why we are doing the eBay videos, is because we need to make money on the homestead. You know, that's
how we support ourselves. You know, I mean, we have a lot of sticks in the fire. You know, that's the key to running our homestead, is a lot of, you know, and of course you get your haters on there that you should just go out and get a job. It's like, dude, if you followed me around for a day, you'd have to take a month off. You know, I mean, just so many, we have so many sticks in the fire. You know, there's things that we do to make money that I don't put on video. You know, I mean, there's things that I sell that I don't put on video. You know, I mean, there's just, you know, we have, you know, a lot of sticks in the fire to run the homestead and be able to work together and, you know, and all that. So, but, you got anything else? I don't. You did good, Miss Kitty.
Oh, I do want to say, too, okay, so I show you packaging material. That's not all-encompassing of the shipping. You have options of purchasing your shipping labels. There's you can go into the post office and pay, which is a little bit more expensive than buying online. You can go to Click and Ship. That is on the post office website. You'll get a little bit of a discount there. You can purchase your labels through the website that you're selling on, whether it's Etsy or eBay. And you can also purchase your shipping labels through PayPal. That's not something when you start selling on eBay that eBay promotes to you that you can do that. But you can, and I actually use PayPal for my shipping because the system to me is a lot more user-friendly. So look at your options of purchasing your labels as well. And you don't have to sell something online to be able to pay for your postage and ship. You know, you want to send something to your daughter, you can go to USPS.com, click and ship, purchase your postage. Exactly. And the thing that not only does it save you a little bit on your postage, but it also, when you walk into the post office, you don't necessarily have to stand in line. You can just, this is prepaid, can I just leave it on the counter and you walk out. Nice. Which for us, it's not that, we have a small post office, so I don't have to wait in line, but big post offices, you know, you can walk in and drop it in their tumble barrel.
Yeah, see, we don't have one of those. Yeah. I wish we did. But that, the other thing that we used to do when we first started, is a lot of the big ones. We don't have this either. Our post office, just a little teeny thing. But, remember they had that machine that you go and it had the scale and everything, and you could print off your deal
automated,
right there.
Postal, I can't remember what they called it. Yeah.
And then
little kiosk that had the stick your debit card in.
Something too that talking about your boxes stuff that we want to point out is we don't priority mail everything. No. You know, I mean, she's just showing you this because you've also seen, if you've watched the past videos, that we totally recycling. Her favorite box to use for the knives is macaroni and cheese
No name.
No name. Yeah, Western Family macaroni and cheese boxes is her #1 favorite box to use.
You know, you used to see our food. That lasted us almost a year, but we get a lot of friends and family that save boxes for us. We actually have.
Sierra showed up yesterday, which Sierra's Polly's daughter, showed up yesterday, and she had her Tahoe. Is it a Tahoe Expedition?
Yes.
She had that thing. I mean, loaded from the back seat all the way back, man. And she brings us all her box, and we love it. Thank you, Sierra.
It actually saves her money because where she's living, they have to pay extra to participate in the recycling program.
Is she down there?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There too?
Yeah.
And then Cody too, man. Cody, I'll show it on when I'm next blacksmithing video. Thanks, Cody. He sent me up, and I got to get the story. I can't remember. He told me the story, but I forgot. But he found, and it's a lot like the square nails that I got from the church key. But the one Cody found, and he found it somewhere, man. It's a shorter one, a big thicker one, man. I'll have to show it on there. But thank you, Cody. Yeah. Is that all you got, Miss Kitty?
That's it.
All right, so, and also I wanted to mention is to get your postcards in, man. We're headed up to that 12,000. So amazing. So get them postcards in for the next drawing, and actually we should have showed those. Yeah, the next video or two will
our current postcards.
Current one. So I guess other than that, man.
Didn't Linda asked if we had gotten hers? No, we did not.
No, I never did know, and she said she'd send another one. So yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I even went back to the last drawing.
Yeah, if you don't see. You know, we try to show every postcard. We love our postcards, man. You know, I've actually collected postcards. I started collecting with my great-grandma on a road trip to Salmon, Idaho when I was a kid, and I still have the ones from then. Oh, yes. You want me to say that?
Yes, I do.
Something that I want all of you, man, I would treasure it forever. I'll buy it, whatever, is I found out that my great-grandpa is on a postcard, a picture of him is on a postcard, and it's probably a Soda Springs, Idaho postcard, and what it is a picture of him with a fishing pole, and it's his back, you know, and he used to wear the old,
like a fedora.
Yeah, fedora, you know, the old fedora, and it was my Grandpa Stone, and he's actually headed down to a fishing hole. And I got to talk to my grandma more about it to get the exact thing. But if any of you come across any postcards, Idaho postcards, and it would probably be from the 40s or 50s, you know, man, if you snap a picture of it or whatever and send it over this way. But man, I have got to have. I have. My grandpa's on a postcard. I got to have it. So I got to find. Not only that, I would like to find one to give to my grandma. Would be absolutely amazing because she does not have one. So other than that, good Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. We'll be back again tomorrow.